and I'm the founder of Pole Sports. Pole Sports lets you get instant fantasy sports advice through real-time polls. In fantasy football, you put together a team of real players, and the way those players perform in real life will translate into points. You can trade players, you can choose who you want to start, and which players you want to bench. And at the end of the season, there's a winning team that wins cash. On average, fantasy football players spend $465 in league-related costs. This is in addition to 18 hours per week that are spent watching games, and 9 hours per week that are spent managing your fantasy sports teams. When managing your team, there are so many factors in play. Injuries, coaching changes, weather, matchups, and other countless variables that are always changing up until a minute before kickoff. If you're not constantly doing your research, then you're not going to win. One of the questions I'm always asking myself throughout football season is, who do I start? And in order to answer this question, I typically have 3 methods. I can research countless articles online, I can post a question on social media, or I can watch hours of sports coverage and games. The problem with all 3 of these methods is timeliness, bias, lack of credibility, and most importantly, these methods do not take into account my unique league settings. Pole Sports is one because I wanted to do this for myself. I didn't want to spend hours a week doing research. I wanted to be able to ask a question, get a quick advice from credible players, and then make my decision. So that's why I created Pole Sports. Pole Sports allows you to create a poll questions such as, who do I start? You can then select the player options that you're stuck between, such as Tom Brady or Sam Darnold. You can then tag that question with your unique league settings and submit the question to a real-time feed where the Pole Sports community can vote and comment with their advice. Our community loves voting because they're able to see exactly where they stand with the consensus. Every vote that comes in will show you exactly who voted, what side they voted for, and their credibility. Credibility is determined based on how helpful you've been in the past in your comments and in your voter accuracy. Someone who is credible on Pole Sports literally has a track record of accurately voting on polls. Gone are the days of researching countless articles online or tweeting a poll into the abyss. Now, you can ask your question, get that quick advice from credible players, and make your decision. I'm excited to announce that since launching Pole Sports on May 15th, during the middle of the off-season, our users have already created over 2,000 polls. And those 2,000 polls have amassed over 100,000 votes. We also have partnerships with 2 different sports media companies who have embedded Pole Sports polls onto their websites. We make money in 2 ways. On the consumer side, we have a freemium model where users can pay $1 to have their polls directly answered by the most credible and accurate users on the platform. Users can also pay $1 to have their polls sticking at the top of the feed so that they can get more votes and more comments more quickly. We also have partnerships with sports media companies who are looking to drive additional engagement on their websites. In our trial with fantasy football advice, they saw an 11.3% increase in engagement as a direct result of our polls. As of 2017, there are more than 40 million fantasy football players in the US and Canada. This number has doubled since 2009. It is an $18.6 billion market. Fantasy football players have skin in the game, and they're highly motivated to win. Since graduating from business undergrad, I became a self-taught software developer, and I've worked professionally as a software engineer for the past 6 years. Pole Sports is the culmination of my interests and skill sets: business, technology, and fantasy football. My background in software has allowed me to create a tool that democratizes sports knowledge. All of our 100,000 votes that have been cast so far have been during the off-season. We're literally just getting started. Football does not kick off until tomorrow, but in the last week, we've had over 500 polls created that have amassed over 20,000 votes. I'm excited to get people that quick fantasy football advice that they need. And if you're in a fantasy football league this year, I invite you to come check us out at polesports.com.